Sitting at the entrance of the sports complex of the premier university in Nigeria, University of Ibadan, Taofeekat Sulaimon wore a downcast and dejected look. Decked in her sports gears, she was in tears, wailing uncontrollably. She had looked forward to this day, ready to represent her school, Abadina College, Ibadan, at the maiden edition of the Lagelu Inter-secondary school relay race in 2017. But the atmosphere quickly changed when at the venue of the competition, she was told she couldn't compete because her school had pulled out on orders from above.
I used all my effort, all my money to train. On getting to the stadium, they said you are not going to have the competition again, that public school is not allowed to participate in the competition. I was very sad that I couldn't go to school again because I didn't have any money with me again. So I sat down at the front of the gate crying that will I waste all my effort that I've used and trained, all the money that I've spent during the training.
In the face of declining sporting competitions in Oyo State, Lagelu FM, an indigenous radio station given to grassroots development, decided to create an athletics competition that saw secondary school students of 14 years and below compete for medals.
The objective was basically, and still is, to give a platform for young stars, who have potentials in athletics. I remember it used to be a side show at our annual marathon events, but with more interest growing year in year out, we decided to give it a shot as a separate event. And of course, we got good partnership, from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports, Athletics Federation of Nigeria. It started officially as a separate event in 2017, and we're quite delighted that there have been so many success stories of young stars, who have gone on to establish themselves, competing at state, regional, and even national level.
It was this kind of opportunity Taofeekat had waited for, only to be told that her school had pulled out, in compliance to the orders of the State Ministry of Education and allegedly due to political reasons. While drowned in her sorrows of missing out of the competition where she sat, she was approached by Dr. Friday Ogada, a school proprietor and the chairman of the Oyo State Athletics Association. Hearing her story, Dr. Ogada took it upon himself to change her situation. He immediately transferred her from Abadina College, a public school, to his Brightview College, a private school on scholarship. Dr. Ogada ensured Taofeekat was exposed to quality education as well as getting quality training and competitions. She was then handed over to state coaches for proper grooming and mentoring.
I was moved by the kind of, the boldness, the zeal to show talents. But because of the story, I decided to tell her that from now on, you are no longer going back to the public school, that I'm going to give you scholarship. And because you say you have the talent and you want to show it, you will show it today for the world to see. And I think she actually ran one of the relays because we already have our teams, but I insisted that they should just allow her to do, even if it is one event. She was so small that she couldn't make the team, but she ran one of the races, and from there I told her the next edition, by that time you would have developed. And to God be the glory, she was there the next edition, and the third edition she was also the Kainoso of all eyes, because she anchored all our team in that 2019 edition. And not just that I put her in school, I ensured that I handed her over to the coaches at the Sport Council.
That meeting was the turning point for young Taofeekat Sulaimon. The disappointment that greeted her in the morning of that fateful day in 2017 has now become a huge blessing. And on the 18th of October 2021, 4 years later, Taofeekat won her first major national competition representing Oyo State at the 6th National Youth Games in Ilorin. She finished third to clinch a bronze medal in the girls' 100 meters final.
For us, we are even more inspired by the story of Taofeekat Sulaimon, and that, from, a disappointed young star in 2017, but who was eventually picked up to somebody in 2021 who not only competed but won medal for Oyo State at the National Youth Games. It's a pointer, and it's quite instructive that so many others, could be like the good thing about the Lagelu Inter-secondary relay is I would call it an inter-house sport on a different level. Lagelu FM has put the platform in place. We have real partners. I mean, those who will eventually take them to the next level.
For Taofeekat Sulaimon, this is just the first of many medals to come.